his presidency, he continuously flouted constitutional provisions, and was not really held to account because he kept challenging matters in the court, taking issues on appeal. We ended up with the Nkandla judgment in the Constitutional Court, which determined that he had to pay some of the costs of the upgrade at his home at Nkandla. But this is a very different matter now. It's a criminal issue that will have to be investigated and prosecuted by the prosecuting authority. We know that Mr. Zuma is already facing all charges in the KwaZulu-Natal High Court relating to the arms deal matter. So I think, the law is finally taking its course, and Mr. Zuma is having to suffer the consequences of his disregard for both the law and the Constitution.
Yes. Now, what we're also seeing from the Deputy Chief Justice is the seriousness of the situation at this point in time, and just looking at the some of the statements that he's made, and one of the statements he's made is this commission is quite clear, and those steps will be taken as a matter of urgency. So it's clear, Lawson, that this is a matter that is not going to be treated lightly, considering that, Jacob Zuma obviously has been playing for time, using almost every excuse in the book not to appear before the commission. And last week when he absconded, that was a final nail in the coffin.
I would agree with that. And then we have to look at also in context that the lifespan of the commission will come to an end in March of next year. So the commission has literally 4 months to complete its work, to hear testimony from various other witnesses. And obviously with Mr. Zuma being a central figure in the whole state capture saga, his testimony is important. And I think the Deputy Chief Justice is doing everything he can, including yesterday announcing that he will be issuing a further summons for Mr. Zuma to appear before the commission at some future date, perhaps next month or in January. Because I think Justice Zondo is keen to hear Mr. Zuma's version of the events, to hear his response to the testimony of 34 witnesses that have implicated him in various aspects of state capture and manipulation of state processes to benefit private individuals. And Mr. Zuma needs to take up this opportunity. If he fails to do so, the commission would be left with very little choice but to make adverse findings against Mr. Zuma on the basis of the evidence that it has before it.
Yes, and with the matter, obviously, an application being made before the Constitutional Court, and this is obviously going to the highest court in the land. And as you pointed out, the lifespan, the end of the term of this commission is about to end. And the sooner we get closure, the better.
Well, indeed, this commission has done, I think, an inordinately good amount of work in the 2.5 years of its existence so far. It now needs to wrap up its work, prepare and submit its report so that proper action can be taken by the law enforcement agencies against those that are implicated in state capture, fraud and corruption, and also make recommendations as to how we can strengthen institutional mechanisms to make sure that that state capture is a phenomenon that does not repeat itself in South Africa in the future. We need to strengthen institutions of governance to make sure that they do the job that the Constitution gives to them.
Yes, and I suppose also setting precedent, because if Jacob Zuma does get away with his behavior at this point in time, it could obviously set the tone for others. And we know there's still a lot more to come by way of corruption and by way of fighting corruption and also holding those to account, Lawson.
Well, exactly. And I think this is the point that, that the Deputy Chief Justice made yesterday, that he doesn't want this to set a precedent so that other witnesses can seek to exploit this and also ignore summonses that might be issued by the Commission against them. The Commission, as we say, does not have the luxury of time before it, and people who are asked to come before it need to do so on the date set by the Deputy Chief Justice, so that he can make maximum use of the time available, not having to go running after people who fail to respond to summonses.
Now, Lawson, this question, obviously, we know Jacob Zuma has been very unpredictable. How do you think he will react after these latest developments, and particularly with the Deputy Chief Justice now dealing with this matter extremely seriously?
Well, I think we already saw, the vindictive nature of Mr. Zuma's responses last week when his advocate, Musi Sikitane, announced to the Commission that they will be lodging a complaint with the Judicial Service Commission against the conduct of the Deputy Chief Justice in hearing the recusal matter. Now, I don't think that there's much in such a complaint. I think it is a very flimsy and really a retributive one because the justice are found against Mr. Zuma. But it shows the lengths to which Mr. Zuma is prepared to go to try and avoid having to testify before the Commission. And I think South Africans, we need to ask the question as to why is it that he is so desperate to avoid having to answer questions? What is it that he has to hide that drives him to take such extreme measures?
Well, Lawson, we're going to have to leave it at that as always. We thank you for your time with us here on Salam Media. We wish you all the best and please keep safe. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Lawson Naidoo joining us this morning, legal and political commentator, and this is going to be quite interesting, extremely interesting developments because Deputy Chief Justice Zondo obviously is clear that he has actually lost patience as far as Jacob Zuma is concerned, and let us see what unfolds, particularly taking the matter up to the Constitutional Court and also the whole question surrounding the illegality of Zuma's absconding and also talking about criminal charges being laid. So here we have an interesting development unfolding. Never a dull moment in South Africa. The time is just gone 8:30. We come back. We're looking at Western Sahara saying that they are confident that South Africa will provide support and solidarity with Western Sahara when against the background of facing aggression by Morocco that have colonized the Western Sahara region.
They say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, yet many children go to school hungry because of poverty. Penny Appeal's Breakfast Club aim to get a warm, hearty meal to underprivileged children so they can spend the day prospering in their schoolwork. Help feed a needy learner by visiting our website on www.pennyappeal.org.za or call 031 1100 573 to find out how you can donate. Penny Appeal. Small change, big difference.
It's the biggest sale of the year. Black Friday all weekend long with Randery Jewelers. From the 27th to the 29th of November. You can expect fantastic special offers, ridiculously low prices, and